My wife has been mad at me for the past 10 years about getting her and her friend pregnant at the same time.
Well, now, I would say that would hump most women off. They would get angry. Mrs. Grant, what happened?
She's the judge who gives rules on the law and life. She's intense with common sense. She's Judge Lynn Toller on Divorce Court, where real couples deal with real life. In 15 years together, Yolanda and Carl have been through it all, from infidelity to the discovery that Yolanda's father had been murdered by Carl's family member. But this couple may have finally reached the end of the line.
He's been cheating, he's been unfaithful, and I'm ready to put an end to it today. I want to change today.
I'm here today because I'm tired of my wife emasculating me, and it's got to end today.
Can Yolanda and Carl keep fighting for their union and for the 3 young children they share? Or is it over definitely? Today on Divorce Court.
All rise. Court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Lynn Toller presiding. You may be seated.
Good day, ladies and gentlemen. I'm here today with Yolanda Grant and Carl Grant. Mr. and Mrs. Grant, you have been together for 15 years, but married for the last 6. You have 3 children together and another child from a previous relationship. Mrs. Grant, you have brought Mr. Grant here seeking $2,000 for emotional distress. And we are going to talk about that momentarily. Before we get to that, however, Mr. Grant, I'm going to start with you. Why don't you tell me a little bit about your relationship and why we're here in divorce court today?
We're here today because my wife has been mad at me for the past 10 years about getting her and her friend pregnant at the same time.
Well, now, I would say that would hump most women off. They would get angry. Mrs. Grant, what happened? Did he really get you and your friend pregnant at the same time?
Yeah.
What happened?
Well, I don't know. I'm about 5 months pregnant, and I get a phone call, and she tells me that she's pregnant by my kid's father. And at this time, you know, I asked him, and he tells me no. And so I believed it. And
you stayed with it?
Stayed with him.
Did you get rid of the girlfriend?
Yeah.
Well, that's good. Now, Mr. Grant, what was on your mind?
I don't know. I wasn't thinking at the time.
Uh-huh.
Because I didn't think, I've never slept with a person one time and had a child. You know, right. I know it only takes one time.
And I get that part, Mr. Grant. The part I can't get to is you knew who she was and you knew her friend was and you were sleeping with both of them.
And we stayed together.
What made that okay with you?
It wasn't okay, is that she was out of town and she was there and it happened.
Convenience.
Yes.
Good enough. Mrs. Grant, why don't you tell me about your relationship? Where did it start to go wrong other than the fact that, you know, you and your friend were pregnant at the same time by him?
Well, I believe it was even before that. Me and Mr. Grant started dating when I was just turning 18. Maybe 2 years into the dating, I discovered that his cousin was the one that murdered my father. And so at that time, we had to deal with that issue. We got beyond that, and then it came into the infidelity. And
how did your family respond to the fact that you wanted to stay with a guy? Now, I assume he went to jail.
Yes.
Is he out?
Yes.
Yes.
Do you see him?
Yes.
How do you deal with that, and how does your family respond to the fact that you remain in a family with a guy that killed your father?
At first they were a little mad, but they've gotten over it.
Have you?
Yes. I've learned to forgive them. I mean, I've done things to people, and they've had to forgive me. And I just felt that that was something that I had to do with myself.
And you were able to do that?
Yes.
Kudos to you, and God bless you for that. Now, let's get to what the two of you are doing at home or not doing at home that has brought you here. Tell me about the lawnmower.
Well, we had got into it one day. I'm at home. I got tired of it. I was ready to leave. So I called one of my buddies. Hey, come pick me up. So I get ready to leave. I hear noise behind me. I turn around. It's a lawnmower coming at me and my friend. So I jump out the way. The lawnmower shoots past us and hit his van and dents his vehicle.
So she turned the lawnmower on.
No, it wasn't on. She just shoved it.
She just shoved the entire lawnmower.
Yes.
Ms. Grant, what happened? And did you send the lawnmower in his direction?
Yes.
Well, Mrs. Grant, let me ask you this. Other than the huge thing that he got you and your girlfriend pregnant at the same time, do you know that he is cheating on you or unfaithful to you on a continuous basis?
I have not actually came home or went to a person's house and caught them in bed.
Right.
But for the female to tell me that they're sleeping with my husband, if I see it on a text or see it on the computer, why would I believe what he tells me when I'm seeing otherwise? It's...
Tell me about a woman who's come to you and said, hey, I'm sleeping with your husband.
Well, it's 12:30 at night. Phone goes off, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm my own PI. I have no need to waste the money.
Yeah, okay.
I go through his phone, and it's a text message from the girl that we had problems with in the past telling me, well, she writes, where you at?
I'm asleep now. It's 12:30 at night. I'm dead
But
asleep.
mind you, the same night this text come through, he was at his friend's house, apparently. And not even 2 hours later, the text come through talking about where you at. Why would somebody be texting that time of night, where you at?
Well, let's ask him. Mr. Grant, why would somebody at that time of night be texting you, where you at?
I don't know. I was at home
Outside
sleep.
me.
I'm at my friend's house just trying to get away right around the corner. And so, because I don't answer my phone to argue with her, she believes that I'm cheating on her.
Yeah.
I'm just going to ask you straight out, Mr. Grant. Have you been unfaithful to her at any time?
No, I have not.
You haven't had your hands on any woman in any place they shouldn't have been.
No, but what I have done is I have talked to another woman through Facebook.
When divorce court continues, are Yolanda's standards too high?
So then I go to straightening up the house because it's not done to her specific things. She wants everything done clean, put here, put there, wipe down this and that. If it's not done to her specific, then it's not done.
Is your spouse ready to walk out the door, but you want to try and save your marriage? Call toll-free at 1-877-311-2222 or visit our website at divorcecourt.com or become a fan at facebook.com/divorcecourt.
Divorce Court is back with the case of Yolanda Grant, who wants to divorce her husband of 6 years because she is tired of his cheating. But is Yolanda's attitude the real stumbling block in this marriage?
And say in the past year or so, my wife has a thing of emasculating me, telling me I'm not the man, I'm not this, I don't do this, I'm not
Well, what
this.
kind of things does she want you to do in order to be a man
She
in
wants
her
me to
book?
be more aggressive with the children, more disciplinary with the children, and I understand that. I could do that a little bit more. She wants me to be more talkative with her, understand I could do that more. You know, it's just the little things.
Now, Mr. Grant, you're smiling, so I know you see it because you're an intelligent guy. I'm talking to you. I know you got some sense. So as you're rattling off all of these things, she's dissatisfied and acknowledging that, in fact, you need to do better. You do see why she's bothering you.
Yes, I do.
You get that?
Yes.
And I know this is a deep concept, and I know it's hard to work with. I get a lot of men in here come in and saying, she keeps saying this, 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 this. And my response is this. If she says it once, and then you go on and do it, she won't have an opportunity to say it again and again and again.
Understandable.
So what does he fail to do?
For example, right now, I'm the one working.
Right.
But my attitude is if I'm working, you're at home, that means that you can take something out for dinner. You can make sure the children are getting their homework done, making sure the chores are being done. So when I come in, and then I still see stuff that was there Tuesday, and here it is Friday, I have a problem with that.
She's right. When she's gone, it's some of the things, when she's working, it's little things like that that's not taking out something for dinner. I understand. I don't do it. I forget things real quick and easy,
So
okay? But as far as her...
What the kids supposed to eat?
You know, you can write a list. I mean, if that woman's out working and the kids aren't eating and she's coming home and she's
Don't get me
hungry,
wrong. They eat.
You need to feed them hot dogs and bologna all week long.
You need to feed
They're
people.
growing kids. I have 2 boys and 2 girls. And mind you, the 2 boys, they're little boys, but they like to eat.
They eat a lot.
Judge, I do it all. I cook, I clean, I do it all to make everybody in the house happy. I don't worry about me not nail time during the day. Not a one time. I worry about making sure when she gets home that she's happy. Making sure when the kids come home.
How long are you on Xbox 360?
When she's at work and when the kids are gone.
For 8 hours.
At school. No.
What time kids go to school? My kids leave the house at 6 o'clock in the morning.
A couple of hours during that day. Okay, so then I go to straightening up the house because it's not done to her specific things. She wants everything done clean, put here, put there, wipe down this and that. If it's not done to her specific, then it's not done.
When he does do something, do you say, hey, good job, or do you
not like I should.
Acknowledge what he
not
does
like
do?
I should, because
Men
my attitude
need
is
applause. They do. And
Okay, listen.
they do. Let me tell you something. They have an ego that says, you know, I have to be important and a provider and all that. And if they come to the house and they are trying to do those things that they kind of feel they shouldn't have to do, but they're trying, the best way to keep them doing it is not just to point out the stuff they didn't do. Say, yep, you took care of that, you handled that, that's business. Appreciate it. You know how much it helps me when I come home and this house is clean? I appreciate you holding your end down. I think it's a more practical thing to do.
When divorce court continues, Carl swears he's not cheating on Yolanda. But can Judge Lynn get to the truth?
It leads from just being on Facebook to it being text messaging, them calling each other. And it's like not just friends, these are all his ex-girlfriends that he had relationships with.
If you would like your case heard on Divorce Court, call us toll-free at 1-877-311-2222 or log on to our website at divorcecourt.com and follow us on Twitter @DivorceCourt. Divorce Court returns with the case of Carl Grant, who says he wants a divorce from his wife of 6 years because she emasculates him. But have all the put-downs from Yolanda caused him to cheat?
He has a text message from this girl from Tennessee. He had her driving up here to Indiana to come and get him.
Tell me about the Facebook thing, and then we will draw this thing to a close.
For example, I said, well, babe, we're having so much problems with this text messaging, them calling each other. And it's like not just friends, these are all his ex-girlfriends that he had relationships with. Then he has nerve to have his number published, so you can go on there and get it, Joe can go on there and get it. Any of y'all want to go on there and look for Carl?
Mr. Grant, has it taken on a preeminent position in your day?
I'll say probably about 6 months to a year ago, I was heavy on Facebook.
Right.
In the past 6 months or so, I barely get on it because
because
we have had problems with me talking to ex-girlfriends, just talking, saying hi. Everything is there for her to read and see. I hide nothing.
With it.
Hide nothing.
I have one more thing, Your Honor.
Yes.
Okay. This girl, I don't know where he met her from, but once again, I was doing my PI, happened to be going through the phone, and he has a text message from this girl from Tennessee, somewhere, not even from Indiana. He had her driving up here to Indiana to come and get him.
Did you have a woman driving?
She told me.
I was having her come up here to see me because at that point I was tired of listening to her mouth telling me I'm not a man, I'm nothing, I'm this, I'm that. So I found someone
who was going to say you were a man.
There you go.
Mr. Grant, the interesting thing is in your papers you said to me you want to save this marriage, that you don't want a divorce. Is that accurate? I mean, you're shipping in women from other states. So, because you find the situation so untenable, is it in fact something you would like to save, or are you with her that it is in fact finished?
I don't know, Your Honor. I would love to, because I want to have that 50 years. It's just one of my things. I want to have that 50 years, you know, and watching our kids grow up, grandkids and great-grandkids, but with our clash that we have and not being able to listen to each other and talk to each other, I don't know where it could go from here. I really don't know.
Let me say this to you. For a man who doesn't believe in divorce, for a man who wants the 50 years, for a man who wants to be there with their children through college, the response to difficulty in the marriage is not shipping in new women. The response to that is doing something you need to do. You sat in this room and gave me a list of faults of your own as long as this desk. Start there. Get off the internet, get off the Xbox, don't call new women in, and try to satisfy the one you got.
Yes, ma'am.
When divorce court continues, what advice can Judge Lynn offer to save this marriage?
We have his 18-year-old daughter there now. Don't put her up here and put me down here.
Divorce Court returns with the case of Yolanda and Carl Grant, who have 3 children together and are divorcing after 6 years of marriage.
Why don't you tell me what the final straw is after 6 years of marriage?
Just everything.
You just threw.
I mean, we have his 18-year-old daughter there now, and I mean, it is getting a little better, but it's just like, because she's 18, he feels that she can basically kind of do what she wants when it comes to the house. And I want him to...
Is this your daughter together, or is this...
This is our stepdaughter. Her mom passed away a couple of years, about 4 years ago.
And she's come to live with you.
And she's been in with us. But I've been on this little girl since she was 2 years old. But the thing is that she's so spoiled, and Dad has like helped along with everyone else in spoiling her, that for me to tell her, well, Britt, that you need to go and do something,
she's just not gonna do it.
She's not gonna do it. And I don't expect for him to always side with me, because I know I'm not gonna always be right. But at the same time, don't put her up here and put me down here.
Mr. Grant, your response to that?
I don't do that. Like I said, I'm not a good disciplinary, and with me not having been in her life for a few years at the time before her mom passed, I kind of was trying to make up for it. And so yes, I was not, you know,
being the nice guy. I get it. And
I admit that, and I told her that, and I've been working on it.
But in the process, we end up suffering, because he didn't want to have a bad relationship with her, but he wants to have a bad relationship with me and him.
Okay, I got it. First of all, with the 18-year-old, I know how you feel. I want to say yes to my sons all the time. I have backed up and backed away because I am going to ruin them. No is a beautiful word. You say it one time. No. I will give you a tape of this show, and so you can see all the things you admitted you couldn't do well, and then you can work on one at a time. Every time that man gets something right, don't remind him of the 9 things he has yet to fix. You thank him for that one, and you thank him, and you say, hey. You continue to praise him for the progress that he makes. He will continue to make progress. I'm telling you, fellas love applause. While you're doing that, I'm going to give you my book called Making Marriage Work. They got 2 chapters on here. I could put it in the Grant chapters. Because it's just for the 2 of you, how to deal with a stepchild that is in the home and one person wants to discipline and the other person doesn't want to discipline, and also about the well of love, how you keep putting in before you start drawing out. Okay? So this is for you, and I will not give anybody any money. I think you're a good people. I think you're of good stock. I think you have good moral values, and with that, I will say goodbye. There will be no recovery in this matter. It is so ordered.
All rise. Parties, we leave the courtroom.
Yolanda and Carl report that they've learned to compromise and argue less. Yolanda says Carl has restricted his phone and internet usage, and that helps her feel more secure in the marriage. Carl sees changes in Yolanda for the better and is hopeful that they are headed in the right direction.